Today I'm going to review Cash on Demand from 1961. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel because I've got some great films lined up.
But about 10 o'clock on the morning of December the 23rd, as these doors are open for business, the most startling, terrifying 2 hours of this man's life will commence.
Cash on Demand came out in 1961 and it's a black and white British film, a neo-noir crime thriller from Hammer Films. And Hammer did a lot of thrillers at this time, not just horror films. So they made films like Scream of Fear, Never Take Sweets from a Stranger, Crescendo. The film was directed by Quinton and this film's based on a 1960 Theatre 70 teleplay called The Gold Inside that was also directed by Quentin. And it also starred André Morell and Richard Vernon, who were also in this film from Hammer. The film was cheap, it only cost £37,000 at the time, and it used limited sets and actors. It runs 80 minutes in the USA version, but in 1963 it had cuts and it was cut to 67 minutes for the UK re-release. The film stars Peter Cushing as Harry Fordyce, André Morell as Colonel Gore Hepburn, Richard Vernon as Pearson, Norman Bird as Arthur Sanderson, Kevin Stoney as Detective Inspector Bill Manson, Barry Lowe as Peter Harville, Edith Sharp as Miss Pringle, Louise Dean as Sally, Alan Harewood as Kane. So I'm reviewing Christmas sort of films this month, feel-good films, and you might be wondering why I'm doing Cash on Demand, because it's a heist film. It's about a robber. Peter Cushing's a bank manager, but it's actually a modern take on A Christmas Carol. So Peter Cushing plays Harry Fordyce. He's a bank manager and he's a right twat. And he could represent the character of Scrooge. And Colonel Gore Hepburn's character, he could represent the ghost of Christmas Present. And Richard Vernon's character, Pearson, he could represent Bob Cratchit because he's always getting picked on at work. Yeah, what a right bloody twat Peter Cushing is in that bloody film. Who would want to work with a bloody boss like that? I'll end up punching the bugger. So one day this man walks into the office and he tells Fordyce, played by Peter Cushing, that his wife and child's being captured. They're going to get electrocuted if he doesn't fill his bags full of money so he can make a getaway out of the bank. And that's basically what the plot's about, just a heist. But it's so well done and acted. And it's interesting that Cushing and Morell were Holmes and Watson in The Hound of the Baskerville from Hammer in 1959. Cushing and Morell, they're like polar opposites in this film. Cushing's an unlikable character. Morell, he's a likeable character. He's jolly. He gives money to people even though he's a thief. And right at the beginning, Cushing's such an unlikable character. He's always doing that with his tie. Everything has to be in order. He goes crazy about this fountain pen not working.
What's wrong with it, Mr. Fordyce? Wrong? The nib's completely corroded. It obviously hasn't been cleaned or examined for weeks. This isn't a post office, you know.
Hey, what a bloody fuss over a pen being knackered. He's bloody crackers, isn't he? And because his work colleague, who he's worked with for 11 years, called Pearson, he let someone off with £10 and he was going to pay him it back. Peter Cushing's character, Fordyce, he's actually going to lay him in, so he'd lose his job.
After 11 years, from the one business I know, you'll make it impossible for me to get another job as chief clerk at any bank in the country. You do that?
Fancy, he was going to lay that bloody fella in for a tenner. The bugger would have lost his job. What a bloody twat. So that kind of shows how people are in jobs that can be right twats. Hey, Phil, why is there so many twats in jobs? Yeah, you're right, Bones. A lot of bosses are carried away with power, I think. And the work colleagues are all arse lickers with the bosses. Some of them are, anyway. Aye, and the bloody workmates are backstabbers. They're only out to make themselves look better and to make others look worse. Yeah! Bloody twats. Anyway, get the bloody review done. Right, okay, I'll get on with the review. Also, like A Christmas Carol, is the character of Fordyce. He changes at the end when he gets his wife and kids safe. At the end of the film, it's revealed that it was all a tape recording of his wife and kids crying. They weren't really going to get electrocuted. It was just so he could get into the bank to get the money. And Cushing's character, a lot like Scrooge in A Christmas Carol, he changes towards the end. He actually gives money to the Christmas party, so it like proves that his character's changed towards the end of the film. I'd class this as one of Peter Cushing's best performances. He's given some brilliant performances in the past. Hammer House of Horror episode, A Silent Scream, The Ghoul, Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed in 1984. That's just some of his top performances. Now class this film among them. He's excellent in it. And Hammer actually did a good job with these thrillers that they did. Like, they're famous for the horror films, the gothic horrors, but they made some cracking thrillers. A Scream of Fear, Crescendo, Never Take Sweets from a Stranger, and that's just some of them. There's a lot of good highlights in this film as well. There's one brilliant bit where Cushing gets sick. His character of 4 dies, and he turns to the robber, and he makes a fantastic threat, saying he's going to kill him if anything happens to his wife and kid. And that's a bit revealing that there's something like a bit more to this character, that he could be a bit psychotic.
Up to now, you've made all the threats. I'll make only one. If anything happens to my family, I'll kill you. I swear I will.
I also like the ending. Morell's character hides some money in Fordyce's pocket, and towards the end of the film, when the police come, it falls out of his pocket. So Morell's character could easily have had Cushing's character in jail with him, but because Cushing breaks down and starts crying at the end, he feels sorry for him and he owns up that he put the money in and everything. So that was a nice touch.
Just a moment, Mason. Me, a man, and a tape recorder.
The man?
Don't be silly, Mason. I use better men than him.
It's also interesting that this film's more or less done in real time. You get lots of focuses on clocks and the minutes ticking over. Richard Vernon's good. His character's a lot like Bob Cratchit, always getting picked on. And Morell's character, he is a lot like Christmas Present. You could also say he's also the Ghost of Christmas Past, because he's going on about Cushing's family, and also the Ghost of Christmas Present, because the future holds with him. So he's all 3 ghosts combined.
Who was the man?
Father Christmas. Someone Fordyce ought to believe in.
So overall, I thought this was a great thriller, one of Cushing's best performances. So out of 10, what will I give it? It's very close to getting top marks. I'm going to give it 9 out of 10, I think. Because it's Christmas, near Christmas, I'll give it 10. Top marks, 10 out of 10. I think going to do like it. Great film feel. Cushing's excellent. Everybody bye. See you next time. Like, subscribe and share.